WoW more than ever is a pay-to-win game, and I think a lot of people dislike hearing that, or they'll scoff it off at saying, no, you can earn everything yourself, or you really can't buy things outright. But I'll explain to you why I'm saying that, and why I think ever since the creation of the WoW token, it's no different than a lot of other games that I had played in the past. There's a lot of new games coming out on the horizon. We have New World, which got a ton of flack from the MMO community for having these potential quality of life features. You have BDO, that's looked down upon because of its pay-to-win features, players insisting that you have to pay real-life money to succeed in that game. You have other games that offer cash shop-like features, like Final Fantasy, for example, where you can buy a ton of different skins and a gigantic whale that can sail the seas and fly in the air for about $45. And WoW has.
I'm actually okay with the whale in Final Fantasy, right? Because like it's a whale mount for whales. It makes perfect sense. It's like, yeah, you literally buy a whale mount. There you go.
But WoW also has the WoW token, which is essentially a item that you can buy off the cash shop that gives you just flat out gold.
Yep.
Now, when I was younger, I played a game called MapleStory, and that was the first MMO I'd ever played. And I met some girl, well, it turned out to be a guy in the game, and I used to give Momo all of my money that I had.
Oh god. You know, there's something really special about that, you know? I remember there was one time I asked a girl whenever I first started playing WoW, she was playing a female character and the character was hot, and I asked her if she was a girl in real life, and she just put like a smiley face, and I'm like, no, she would have actually said yeah. And I just assumed, like, because I've always been like very skeptical person. Yeah, I did. That was the first week or something I started playing the game. It's a rite of passage. Yeah, it's a rite of passage. There you go. Yeah, to get catfished by a guy at a fucking MMO.
It was called Mesos, and I used to swipe my mom's credit card, and I would buy Mesos from a third-party seller to then buy an item from somebody else so that I could give to Momo. Turned out Momo was a guy. Anyway. True story, by the way. Anyway, but at some point, Nexon, I believe, who was the original owner of that game, I'm not sure if they still are, they realized that they should just start selling the items outright. Yeah. You could just sell, instead of having these third-party sellers have all of this money and making all this money off of players, they just started selling items that you could buy out of the cash shop.
That's convenient. Yeah, I mean,
you could sell those to other players for Mesos, or you could obviously just use the equipment itself. Now, World of Warcraft, when it first came out in Classic, I also bought gold. I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I wanted some gold to get a mount, and I bought it from some weird website where you were talking to some lady, apparently. It's always the same picture. She has like a little headset on, and you type to them your in-game name, and they deliver gold to you via trade. And
so it was actually really funny because, like, I remember this is the one experience that I have, right? Susan Express, right? So Jeff literally got, like, I told the story the other day. Jeff literally got he got gold sent to him by one of these people, and I knew it because I went over to his house and he had like 800 gold, and the day before he had like 8 gold, and I'm like, Jeff, how'd you get all this money? And he's like, bruh, I'm a god at farming. Like, I am a farming machine. I found a really good spot, and I've just been farming a whole lot. And I'm like, Jeff, is that really true? Because I remember, like, looking at his screen the day or two before, and they had those Susan Express ads on the fucking trade chat. And now Jeff's got 800 extra gold. And then I'm like, Jeff, you bought the gold. And he's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, Jeff, yes, you did. You bought the fucking gold. He's like, no, I didn't. And then his fucking mother comes in and asks him for her credit card. She comes in and asks him. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And Jeff's like, oh no, I had to buy shoes, and I had to buy something else. I was gonna buy a shirt. I was actually gonna buy a shirt for you, man. And like, you know, I remember exactly what he said, but it was something like that, you know. And he's coming up with this fucking excuse, you know. And I'm like, man, this shit is so common. People are buying gold all the time. But he didn't finish? No, he got the gold. Like, I remember he got epic flying. And he would beg certain people. Like, he found, like, people in the game that would just give him money, man. And he would just get paid by these people over and over and over.
I bought that to buy other things in WoW. And then eventually World of Warcraft did the same thing to combat the gold selling and decided to implement the WoW token.
Why would he get
now,
banned?
the WoW token, in my opinion,
Why would he get banned?
is really no different than any of these other games selling you items outright, because instead of selling you the item outright, you just buy it from another player.
Yeah.
Now, if you go through trade chat today, it looks significantly different than what you would have seen in the past. When you would look through trade chat in the past, you would see players selling profession-based items that they found in the world, goods. Nowadays, if you look through trade chat, you don't see any.
Actually, back in Mists of Pandaria, the only thing you saw in trade chat was literal Chinese letters with a website link and a link to the the item that's like put in the chat of the Pandarian Phoenix. You know, a bunch of Chinese letters, a website, and then the Phoenix. That's all it was.
Anyone selling any items per se that they have farmed or earned, you only see boosting services. And this is no different for PvP as well. I mean, you can look at some of the prices here for these items. They're like 5 million gold for heroic raid carry. Let me just see here. I'm gonna move this so you guys can see it real quick, all right?
Prices, heroic full clear, so that is 5.4 million gold. Sylvanas Simps AOTC is only 2 million gold, and it's gonna go down way, way, way faster. And then normal full clear is 1,800. Wow. Oh my god, dude. I need to start fucking selling carries again. This is crazy money. Oh my god.
Buy a PvP boost from 0 to 1,600 for over 1 million gold, and you can take that achievement and then go on and buy actual items with it, player power with it. And let me ask you this, when was the last time you've seen one of your buddies or friends go out and actually farm gold? I mean, I know there's some people that farm gold, but no one I know goes out and actually farms gold.
The last time I farmed gold was back in I guess I sold a few like N'Zoth carries, but like not really. The last time I really did it was maybe in like WoD, and like primarily in WoD, but like maybe a few times in Legion.
Ask my friends, hey man.
You get handed gold though? Yeah, but I used to not, right? I used to actually make my own gold. I'll be honest, guys. There's a lot of people that they don't really understand, because they don't really understand the game very well. And so they don't understand how easy it is to make gold in WoW. Like, I could have made like 3 million gold a day in WoW. Like, the whole meme of I don't make gold, gold makes me, that wasn't a meme. That was the truth. Oh, how would you do that? Show us how. You just sell N'Zoth carries all day. What do you mean? You just get into a group, do good damage, make friends with the people that run it all the time, join the group, and do that all fucking day. It's easy money. And anybody who doesn't think this is possible doesn't know anything. You don't know anything about the game.
How do I go out and make gold? I've asked this question before, because to be honest with you guys, I'm broke. Okay, I'm broke in WoW. I have no gold. Here's my character. I have 7,000 gold.
Jesus.
And when I ask them, how do I make gold?
WoW
they
token.
simply tell me
Buy a WoW token.
Do some boosts, do some carries. That's how you make gold in this game.
Yep.
You do Mythic Plus carries, you do PvP carries. If I go to buy my plate rune carving set, I want to maybe make an exploiter on my shoulders at a 262 item level. That's 1 million gold. That is 1 million gold. I don't know anyone that's legitimately farming 1 million gold today. If I go to the WoW token again for 20 bucks, I get 171,000 gold.
That's
so I'm gonna
big
need
money.
a couple of these. I'm gonna need a couple of these. It's like $100 for a singular item in World of Warcraft. Now I know,
and that's what people do, by the way. Like, they spend real money and they get the character boosted up, and that's all it is. Yeah, it's they spend $100. Nothing to rich people. It's nothing. It's not even rich people. It's like, let's say you're making $50,000 a year and you're single and you're 25 years old. Unless you're living in California or New York and you're just living in some random fucking place, you can afford that. You can absolutely afford that. And there's a lot of people out there that are making a decent salary. They're making 60 grand a year. You know, they graduated, they're a programmer, and they're starting out at $70,000 a year. And those are the people that are buying WoW tokens and buying OnlyFans subs. Those are the people. It's not these fucking rich guys that are living on yachts. They're not even playing the fucking game. These people, the rich guys on the yachts, aren't playing the game. They're running the fucking organization that's selling the gold to allow other people to play the game.
A lot of people are going to say, well, that's why I play TBC, or that's why I play Classic. Well, to be honest with you guys, it exists in Classic too. And if you played on Faralina, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In Classic WoW, specifically Vanilla WoW, and I'm sure it's going to make its way into TBC, or it already has, there's this thing known as GDKPs, where essentially you find these gigantic whales that have a ton of gold that are willing to spend a bunch of money on a special item or a couple of items.
They're called super whales, or also referred to sometimes as Rich Campbell. And and
you get these carries that come in there to make gold off this gigantic whale. They suck them dry like a leech. Someone in Classic spent over 198,000 gold. 198,000 gold in Vanilla Classic, which equates to over $3,500. I also don't know how they know how much 198,000 gold is worth. But apparently to them...
Oh, I wonder how. I mean, it's very easy to find this out. It's extremely easy to find this out. Of course, people are going to do this. And back whenever I would do sales, this was 100% true. Like, once you found somebody who was willing to pay you a lot of money for one thing, those people will pay you a lot of money for a bunch of stuff. And you do have like that 80-20 rule where you make 80% of your money off of 20% of the people and having repeat business. So there are people that like I would make sales to, and I knew that they would pay me a lot of money for something. And I'm like, I'm petting them throughout the run. I'm like, you're a good boy. Yeah, there it is. Here, come on. Do you want to put me on follow for the boss fight? Oh, you're such a good boy. You're doing your best, right? And like, I was nice to him, and you're as reasonable and kind as possible because you want them to come back. And it's not shut the fuck up, grooming. That's so nasty. Shut up. This is not the year for that, okay? Maybe 5 years ago we could make that joke, but not anymore. The customer is king. Yes, the customer is kings. And these guys were kings of kings.
Wonder where they found this metric. It's worth $3,500, and there's footage of it. You can literally find footage of it of somebody trading over the 198,000 gold. And this is not like an abnormality where you never really see this. It's not this rare.
Well, this was obviously an abnormality. That's why there was an article written about it. But like, let's look at this, right? I'm gonna search cock. Okay, we've got cock up, and let's say you make $90,000 a year. Okay. Divide that by 12, you're making $75,000 a month. There's plenty of people who maybe only spend half of that money. And let's say like, they're living like an average apartment, etc. And they have, let's divide this by 2. You can basically afford this in 1 month of your disposable income. And this isn't even counting somebody who, let's say, is making $300,000 a year, right? Divide that by 12, they're making 25 grand a month. $3,000 to them is a drop in the bucket. They don't even think about this. Taxes? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Just assume that they're making more money and that's what they have left over after taxes. It's simple. Yeah, I know taxes. I'm aware of what taxes are. A lot of people are acting like I'm off base with this. How many of you guys know people that spend over $1,000 a weekend going out drinking? Me. I know somebody. I know a lot of people that do that. I know a whole lot of people that do that. And every single one of those people, for every one of those people, there's one of these people that spends $1,000 a week doing something stupid like this. You have a different life from us, dude. Out of touch. No, not at all. These are people that I know that are friends of mine that have no business spending $1,000 a week on drinks. Like, and I want to make this very clear. No business doing it. But you know what? They do it. And that's the best part about it. And they're the people, those are the ones that are really making the bad decisions. Those are the people that can't afford it, but they still do it anyway.
Thing that happens, and in fact this was happening all throughout Classic as a way to as essentially a way to money launder this gold. 198,000 gold, you guys, is not something that you can go out and easily farm if you're not familiar with how much that really is in vanilla WoW standards. It's not something that you could come up with in a week or a month. It would take you forever to farm that amount of gold. It's not about what you know or what you think, it's about what you can prove. And I can't prove that this person in particular bought gold for this item. But I think everyone listening or watching can use their noodle. I know a lot of them are going to say, well, you can't buy WoW tokens in Classic, but what Blizzard also allows you to do is for you to buy a WoW token. Yeah. You then trade that WoW token to another player that has Classic gold so they can buy game time, and then they give you Classic gold. So then you can basically just funnel your retail gold into Classic, and players do that all the time. Now, I've made several videos on the topic of boosting on my channel, and I've talked about carries in World of Warcraft. However, they've been in the game for as long as I can remember. People have been buying raid carries and PvP boosts for as long as I can remember. And I don't blame the players that are doing these carries or boosts, these services, because it's a lot of gold to make, and that's the best way to make gold in this game outside of buying a WoW token. But
this is exactly right, and this is what a lot of people do. This is the same way, like, I would do this too. Like, if I could, I would start selling carries as well. Like, if I didn't have like viewers to give me gold, I would just sell carries in WoW. It would be that easy. The guy who bought the swords banned, sure. I'm sure there's other people that bought other similar amounts of items that are not banned. You see what I'm saying?
Reality is, when somebody's paying 2-3 million gold for a carry, it's very unlikely that they're legitimately farming all of that gold. With the PvP gearing system, Blizzard has tried to combat this boosting situation by making it so that you have to get a win per week to then upgrade your gear, so you can't just sit on your rating. But all that does is incentivize players to buy a boost weekly now rather than a one-time purchase. Now, a lot of games have been getting flack, again, New World, because of their quality of life features that may exist in the game. However, I find it super hypocritical that a lot of the players that are giving New World flack for their quality of life features are existing WoW players. I'm not here to say or, condemn anyone for, maybe you're someone that doesn't play World of Warcraft and you don't play WoW because you do believe that it has all these features that you don't like, these quality of life features. But if you're a WoW player and you're looking down on New World and you actively play World of Warcraft, or you're looking at Lost Ark, and these companies also are having to come out and explain that, hey, we're going to do our best. We're going to alter our strategy for the Western market, or we're going to do our best to not include any pay-to-win features, just quality of life features. It kind of sucks, because a lot of people accept World of Warcraft and its WoW token, and they accept the fact that you can buy whatever you want in the game with gold, and you can literally just buy gold. I find it a little ironic, and there's a bit of hypocrisy in that. Because if the WoW token didn't exist, and I'm not here to argue that it should or shouldn't exist, if it didn't exist, players would go off and then buy gold from some third-party website and being able to then purchase anything that they want in the game. But as long as the ability to sell carries is acceptable when the exchange is via gold, and Blizzard is essentially just selling...
Well, it's whenever they sanction it, right? Because you're always going to have, like, I'm okay with selling carries. I think there's always going to be people selling carries. But what I'm not okay with is whenever Blizzard sanctions buying gold. Because if you're farming gold out and then you buy a carry with the gold, I think that's totally fucking different than if you literally pull out your credit card and you buy 2 million gold and you buy a carry with that. In my opinion, I think these are two completely different fucking universes. And I think obviously both of them are kind of bad, but one of them I think is acceptable and one of them I think is not. And the fact is that it's the new normal. No, what somebody said in chat is true. Like, this is the new normal. And the reason why a lot of WoW players are accepting it with WoW is because in many cases, WoW doesn't have a lot of the other pay-for-convenience features that these other games have to the same degree. Like, it's like every single game nowadays has some sort of monetization practice that's not good for the player. Like, like, this is not... You cannot find a reason that this is good for the game. Other than, like, it just makes money, man. A lot of my classic friends would buy way more gold if they didn't have to use sketchy sites. Exactly, yeah. And having to use the sites and having to risk getting banned is absolutely a reason why people would not want to take advantage of it. And I think that's 100% the case.
You gold for $20 a token. How can you say that they're not supporting that? How can you say the game is not pay to win? The MMO business model isn't very profitable. Because if you look at other games like League of Legends or Counter-Strike, they have these skins that cost certain amounts of money, And
Yeah.
people are okay with buying those because the game isn't about the cosmetics. But in World of Warcraft, whether you accept it or not, cosmetics are everything. You know, getting rank 1 in WoW, or getting Gladiator, or getting Cutting Edge, it's about the achievement that you get, the title that you get, the mount that you get. You have your personal accomplishment and you feel good about that. But in MMO, it's about how other players see you in the world, right?
Yeah.
You show off that title, you show off that mount. That shows that you accomplished something great in the game. And when you have these skins and these cosmetics that you can just buy off of a store, it's a weird vibe. I'm not here to bash any of these games whatsoever, but I think, again, if you're a WoW player and you're discrediting other games because they have these pay-to-win features, you need to take a second look at your own game.
Look in your own
and start
backyard.
talking about
Absolutely.
how Blizzard is supporting these purchases. It's not against...
Well, not supporting them. They're profiting off of them and promoting them. It's completely different. They're literally making money off of people buying gold in their game. And as I said, they're doing it under the pretense of, oh, well, we're doing this for Bill. We're doing this for Ted. Ted doesn't have a whole lot of time to play the game. He's got a kid, he's got a wife, he's got a job, and he's only got a few hours a week to play, and he just doesn't have time to farm gold. Are you really going to tell Ted that he can't play the game? Why can't Ted just buy an extra WoW token? Oh, come on. Why can't you? What, are you really trying to hurt Ted here? Come on, Ted's a nice guy. He works as a paramedic. But the reality is that it's not Ted. It's Billy with his fucking stimulus check. Oh, Blizzard, take my money. I've got to buy another raid carry as fast as he can with the stimulus check, trying to fucking spend his money as soon as possible.
of service to buy a carry with gold, and you can buy gold with real life money. So, anyways, just wanted to talk about that in today's video. Hope you guys found it useful, informative, or at least interesting, and I'll see you all in the next one.
There it is. I'm glad that more people are talking about this, because the WoW token, in my opinion, there will be nothing that has any real prestige or value except for like maybe rank 1 and like, you know, world first or like world top 10 kills and raids, like maybe like MDI stuff. There will be nothing in the game that has any prestige if buying everything in the game is a sanctioned event. This is sanctioned by Blizzard, that you literally just buy things in the game. There will be there's no sense of accomplishment in the game. There's no sense of like, oh wow, that person has that cool thing. It means that they're good. That's why Raider IO matters. Can't really buy a 2,000 carry. Well, you can if you're buying a different dungeon every week, okay? Because if you're buying one carry through Mythic Plus every single week, you just do a different one every single week, and eventually you're going to get a 2,000 score, okay? You literally can. Yes, you literally can. You can buy anything that you want, because people will sell anything that they can, because that's how they make their money, right? That's what it comes down to. So let's see here. 7k gold, a true PvPer. Yeah, PvPers have always been poor as fuck. Looks like the actual content is designed with tokens in mind. It just feels like a mobile game. Now, boosting is why I quit the game. There's no authentic content for casuals to participate in anymore. Yeah, I think casuals have gotten alienated by this much more so than hardcore players, because hardcore players can sell carries, or they can just buy WoW tokens because they're losers that don't have anything else to do with their money. That's what I used to do, right? I mean, 100%. So it's not really, I'm not different than this. I'm speaking from experience, okay? In WoW Classic, people don't bat an eye whenever a mage is advertising boost runs, but will get angry at a tank or a healer for selling their services. Hypocrisy is rampant, my friend. Yeah, I know that, because they're worried that if all tanks start selling that, then the tanks are going to have control over them. Whereas like mages are doing something that's unique and that they don't get a benefit out of. I think that's why people get mad about that. But yeah, you could sell tanking services as well. Like I know in Burning Crusade, tanking in Burning Crusade is genuinely not fun. Like it's just not a fun experience. You tank in BC and it just sucks. So there are people that sell tanking runs in heroics all the time, because everybody knows that it's not fun to do, and it sucks. Is tanking ever fun? Yeah, it was way more fun later on in the game. It absolutely was, 100%, man.